Hey there, yogi. Let's get started in this quick 10-minute flow. We're going to be down on the ground a lot. So if you need props to sit up on, a bed pillow, a couch cushion, if you have a yoga bolster, pause this video and go grab it. You don't need it, but again, sometimes it helps from keeping your back from rounding. So I'm going to start up on the bolster and I'm going to start to the side just so you can see what I'm doing. You can face me, whatever is comfortable, but come down into a cross-legged seated position. Draw your feet into where it's comfortable for your body. Some people can have it nice in close to their booty, maybe a little bit further away as it works for you. All depends on how long your legs are, how warmed up your body is. No judgment. I want you to focus solely on you and how it feels in your body. Your feet are active. Just means that you're pushing into the ball and your heel. You're not like overly pointing your toes, but just a nice kind of straight foot. If it feels good, you can rest your shins in the arches of your feet. Totally don't have to, okay? Again, I want you to build from the foundation up and I want you to feel good as we move up through the body. Next, we're going to come to the pelvis, and this is the most important part. I don't want it so that you're rounding forward, being lazy. I also don't want you to try these things so straight that you're tipping your pelvis forward and you're arching your back. I want you to try to find a nice neutral pelvis, meaning your front hips are lined up with your back hips, okay? Now, from here, move up to your core. You might have heard the cue to draw your navel towards your spine, and I don't know that it engages your core in the way that I want it to. So I want you to think about the whole front side of your hips, okay? So your front hip bones and all the way across. And I want you to think about gently trying to draw that towards your back hips. Now we're not sucking it in, we're just trying to cause a little bit of an engagement here, okay? Feel how that's different as opposed to like if you were just trying to suck your navel towards your spine, right? It might actually cause you to collapse a little bit. So again, think about engaging this whole core area. Now move up a little bit more. Low ribs, lift them away from your hips, okay? Just slightly. We're not trying to, again, tighten anything up crazy. Come up to your chest, your sternum. It is open, straight forward. Now, I always think it's nice to take your shoulders, remind them where they're supposed to be. So roll them up, back, and down, away from your ears, right? You probably had them forward and didn't even realize it. Hands can come palms down onto your knees. Now, chin parallel to the ground. Make sure it's not jetting out. So draw it back slightly. And then I love to find this little bit of bonus length. If you pretend you have a string, the back of the crown of your spine, gently pulling you up ever so slightly, finding a little bit of extra space in between each vertebrae. Now notice how you feel, okay? And once you're in this position, can you sort of relax and sort of settle into your Sukhasana? So you shouldn't be all tight and tense. Take a breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, relax in. Soften while you stay strong and stable. Take this moment, settle in, find your transition period. And again, notice how your body feels. Do you feel like you're tense in one area? Can you soften? Maybe you over tightened in your core. Just gently release a little bit. Don't let it all go. Did your shoulders drop forward? Again, open them up, relax them down. There is a lot going on in just a seated position, yogi, isn't there? So really notice how this position feels for you, especially once you've found that balance between being stable, being strong, being as straight as you can be in your spine, even though we've got that natural curve there, but also being soft, right? Finding the balance between the two. Just gonna turn and face you really quick. stay where you are. Now exhale, really think about grounding down into your mat or the bolster or cushion you were on, and inhale, draw your arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, drop your right hand off to your right side, and then inhale, lengthen up and over onto your left. Breathing here. Left arm reaches over, maybe twisting gently open on your chest. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, plant your left hand on your left side. Right arm reaches up and over as you inhale, and now breathe. On your inhale, arms reach up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, right arm down, left arm up and over. Inhale, palms touch. Exhale, left hand down, right arm reaches up and over on your inhale. Breathe here. And then inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Beautiful job. Now your knees might be getting a little bit crabby. So if you'd like, you can go ahead and release your legs for a second, shake them out, and then draw them in the opposite way. So now it's going to feel a little funny because you've got the opposite leg on top. If for any reason this causes any sort of discomfort, switch it out to the way that you're used to, okay? Again, get yourself nice in alignment, nice neutral pelvis, nice long tall spine, relaxed shoulders. On your inhale, arms reach up overhead, palms touch. This time exhale, bring your right arm behind you, left hand goes across to your right thigh. On your inhale, lengthening your spine. On your exhale, twisting just a little bit deeper. Breathing here, smile. On each inhale, think about lengthening your spine, even if it's just an imaginary lengthening. And then on your exhale, think about twisting just a little bit more from your mid and upper back. Even if you're not physically moving, just imagine that small amount of movement. On your next inhale, unwind as your arms reach up overhead, and then exhale, left hand behind you, right hand reaches across to your left thigh. Inhale, lengthening your spine, exhale, twisting. Gaze to only where it feels good for you. You don't want to be, putting your neck in a way that doesn't feel good. And again, on every inhale, just imagining finding a little bit of extra length in your spine, and on your exhale, just imagining twisting just a little bit further from your mid and upper back. On your next inhale, unwind. Arms reach up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands down to heart center, and move right into all fours. Wrists directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips. Back toes are curled. I want you to exhale, ground down into your knuckles. And then on your inhale, lift your knees and then send your hips up and back for a quick down dog here. Bend your knees, tip your pelvis, and then walk it out, lifting one heel and then the other. Whatever feels good for you. Make sure that you're ground down into your knuckles. You're wrapping your shoulders, closing your armpits off to the world. Nice bend in your knees, even if you stop pedaling your feet so your pelvis is tipped, your back is flat. Now, bring a stop to any movement in your feet if you still were pedaling them out. And on your inhale, I just want you to lift your right foot straight up and back to wherever it feels good. Again, we haven't done a ton to warm up the hamstrings, so listen to your body. Listen to what your left leg's telling you. Hips stay closed, pointing down. And then bring your right foot down. Your inhale, lift your left leg up. Stay here and breathe. Hips are closed. Listen to your hamstrings on your right leg. And then bring it back down. Drop your knees. Send your knees as wide as your mat. Big toes touch. Slowly drop back into a child's pose just for a brief second. You can stack your fists. Rest your forehead on your fist and take a cleansing breath in through your nose, out through your nose. And then rise up, come back into your Sukhasana one last time. Walk yourself through all of your cues. Draw your feet in towards your seat. Feet are active. You might need to move some flesh away from your sitting bones. Neutral pelvis, ribs away from your hips. Shoulders, relax them back. This time bring your hands at heart center, chin parallel to the ground, and if it feels good, gently close your eyes. Taking a moment here to close out your practice, to thank yourself for doing something so good just it would feel good. Gently draw your thumbs up to your third eye center and bow down, rounding your back, sealing in your practice, thanking yourself. And the light and energy that's within me, surrounds me, connects us all together, honors and recognizes the light and energy that's within you and around you. When you are ready, you can gently lower your hands back down, blink your eyes open, and bring your head back up. Thank you, yogis.